I look at it as stop complaining about something that many people thought happened last year because of COVID, but it actually happened the beginning of this year. If I'm calling someone it's just because, yeah, you are acting like one. You are acting like one. No one cares about how you feel, Deontay. No one does. Even if you put it out there. Oh man, I feel bad that you got a dent on your head. No. This is the fight game. This is war. This is a man's sport. And if you're looking for closure and if you're looking for comfort, you're not gonna get it here. And if anything, people are gonna criticize you for it.
So, after Deontay Wilder revealed that his doctor informed him that he suffered a dent in his skull post-Tyson Fury rematch, Teofimo Lopez immediately came out telling Deontay Wilder to stop being the B word. Teofimo Lopez went as far as stating that, "I would call Deontay Wilder the B word to his face. Stop making excuses, nobody cares, just move on." In addition to that, Teo told Wilder, "Stop complaining and get in the ring with Fury again," even though that's exactly what Deontay Wilder was trying to do. However, Tyson Fury had other plans. The AJ Undisputed fight, so on and so forth. It ain't no secret. Fury was avoiding the Deontay Wilder trilogy at all costs, which is exactly why Deontay Wilder had to take Tyson Fury to mediation, then arbitration, just to land the trilogy. Nevertheless, ironically, a year later, Teofimo Lopez loses to George Kambosos, claims he won 11 rounds to 2. Then his father claims it was a robbery. But peep this, on top of that, they don't want the rematch with George Kambosos. So in this case, who is really the B word? And to put icing on the cake, Teofimo Lopez had his doctor come out and say that Teo fought with air in his chest. His lungs could have exploded, which makes you wonder, does that have something to do with the hookah he was smoking? Now, I told Teofimo Lopez a year ago that the only thing that's the B word is karma, because karma is the B word. Fast forward a year later, Teo went from the takeover to the game over. In a blink of an eye, Teo went from calling Deontay Wilder the B word and making fun of Deontay Wilder doctor claiming Wilder had a dented skull, to all of a sudden now being a sore loser himself, even coming out with a doctor note as an excuse. And what makes it more ironic is the hypocrisy by Mark Kriegel, who trashed Deontay Wilder doctor for the dent excuse, even though Wilder's skull looks visibly dented. Meanwhile, Mark Kriegel is praising Teofimo Lopez for his excuses he came out with when he lost to George Kambosos. I mean, the irony of it all. On one hand, Deontay Wilder is a sore loser. On the other hand, Teofimo Lopez is a warrior for making excuses and coming out with doctor notes, according to Mark Kriegel, completely ignoring Teofimo Lopez smoking hookah like he's not an athlete. Therefore, to all of the Teo fans, keep the same energy. Don't flip. Don't be as biased as Mark Kriegel.
And I said what I said about Wilder is not to discredit anything about the man, as his manhood. I'm not saying anything about that. All I'm talking about is in the boxing, nobody's going to care about what happened. You lost, whatever happened, happened. You know what I mean? Move on.
A few moments later.
Fighter, but I won tonight, man. Everybody know that. The referee raised my hand. I won tonight. I don't care what anybody says, yo. I won tonight. Hey, at the end of the day, I've been here. I've done that. I want to thank God. I want to thank everybody that came out tonight. Look, I ain't no sore loser. I take my wins like I take my losses. I know what it is. I know how these people work. Referee knew I won tonight. Everybody knew I won tonight. I don't believe it was a close fight at all. I believe that at the end of it all, I scored 11-2. Well, 10-2.
Get the out of here, man. Please.
Well, Sergio, you heard Kambosos say to Lopez, you're delusional. I think the telling moment was when Teofimo Lopez said, listen, everyone knows I won this fight. 90% of the people here were cheering for Lopez coming in. They all booed him after he said that.
Teofimo Lopez, I mean, I hate to kick a man while he's down, but at the end of the day, I got to call a spade a spade. And the irony of it all, I mean, what goes around, come back around. They say karma is the B word, right? And that's exactly what it is, because Teofimo Lopez, he called Deontay Wilder the B word. He said Deontay Wilder is the B word for making excuses. Nobody cares. Just take your L like a man and come back another day. Even though that was really what Deontay Wilder was doing. Meanwhile, Teofimo Lopez lost to Kambosos, made all of the excuses in the world, from his lungs almost blowing up and him having injuries, so on and so forth. All of that is really hard to believe because he was smoking hookah leading up to the fight. If I see you smoking hookah, I'm already doubting your dedication to the sport. I made a video on this. You guys could check it out. I'm going to leave it in the comment section below. I said hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work as hard. So while Teofimo Lopez was out partying, drinking, smoking hookah, guess what Kambosos was doing? He was training, sleeping, shitting, and breathing boxing. Meanwhile, Teofimo Lopez was smoking hookah. And then when you hear the excuses, you almost can't believe it, because right after the fight, he said he beat Kambosos. He said it was a robbery, 11 rounds to 2. That's what Teofimo Lopez said. He didn't say I had lung problems. He didn't say I had an injury. He didn't say none of that. So the point that I'm making is Teofimo Lopez the B word for making excuses, because what he went off on Deontay Wilder about is the exact same thing he's doing today. We know Wilder got cheated. What's your excuse? He called Lomachenko a sore loser. Well, guess what? He's doing the same thing Lomachenko is doing times 10. Why make excuses? Like Teofimo Lopez told Deontay Wilder, nobody cares. Get yourself off the ground and get your L back. It's not a loss, it's a lesson, right? That's what Teofimo Lopez used to say. If Deontay Wilder is a B word for wanting his revenge after getting cheated, what is Teofimo Lopez? Because he lost, claimed the robbery, and doesn't even want a rematch. Hello, is anybody home? What was your take on Teofimo Lopez calling Deontay Wilder the B word? But we know Deontay Wilder came back to get his revenge, win or lose at the end of the day. He was man enough to want his lick back in blood. Obviously, he wasn't the same no more. He took so much punishment in the second fight, he was no longer the same. I truly believe. At the end of the day, Teofimo said he's the B word. A year later, he loses to Kambosos and makes all the excuses in the world. He claims it's a robbery, but doesn't want a rematch. So is Teofimo Lopez the B word, just like he called Deontay Wilder? Or is it even worse because he don't even want the rematch?
When I'm in your comment box, I've been calling Teofimo, you know, a lot. And, you know, no disrespect to him. You know, I mean, I ain't trying to say one thing, but I'm talking about his character. I agree with you. I think it's like what Malcolm X said. It's a case of the chickens coming home to roost. When Deontay Wilder, like you said, he at least stepped up. He fought, he lost. You know what I mean? He tried again, and everybody considers him a warrior. They would say the same of Teofimo. I can't even say his name. Teo. They would say the same of him if he would just take the L, go out, like you said, dust it off, get the composure back, and win. Even if he lost 6 more times, you know what we would say? We would say he's a warrior. I look at guys like Danny Garcia. I'd be like, I didn't like Danny Garcia at first. I used to hate Danny Garcia. But now I'm like, man, Danny Garcia, he done fought everybody. I got much respect for him, much respect for Tom Porter. I would say the same for Teo. But I don't think he like that. I don't think he not from that cloth. They from this new era. And this new era ain't got that type of feel. They ain't got that cloth that's just warriors. And that's why they just on Instagram talking and not fighting. And that's my take on it, my brother.
We ran a digital thing the other day. The tides have changed a bit, George. More and more and more people think that you're going to win this fight. What do you put that down to?
I'm preparing. People see how hungry I am. You know, they're not dumb. And they can see how he is. They can see his whole charisma. Kid's not focused. He's distracted like crazy. He's missing sessions left, right, and center. 2 weeks ago, he's out partying and drinking. And I said it. The 1%ers, catch up, kid, and you'll learn the hard way. Now, there's going to be a lot of excuses. I see it. I know there's going to be a lot of excuses after this fight. The COVID, he's got asthma, his lungs. You know, we want one round to finish off Kambosos because they're not ready for the next 11. There's going to be a lot of excuses, but
Hey, hell of a fighter, but I won tonight, man. And everybody know that. The referee raised my hand. I won tonight. I don't care what anybody says, yo. I won tonight. Hey, at the end of the day, I've been here. I've done that. I want to thank God. I want to thank everybody that came out tonight. Look, I ain't no sore loser. I take my wins like I take my losses. At the end of the day, man, I'm a true champion. I came out here. I did what I had to do, and I went out there and I did my best. Yo, I don't care what anybody says, man. I am as real as they come. And watch, this is the takeover, man. We don't stop. We keep coming. Yo, at the end of the day, man, I love you all. I won this fight.
Teofimo, you believe coming in that you were going to be able to end this fight early. You get knocked down in the first round. What was your mindset going back to the corner?
It's good. Good shot. All right. Time to wake up. Time to do the thing what I got to do. After that, man, it is what it is. It's boxing. But you know what, man? I know what it is. I know how these people work. Referee knew I won tonight. Everybody knew I won tonight. And I'm just thankful.
Did you believe?
Well, Sergio, you heard Kambosos say to Lopez, you're delusional. I think the telling moment was when Teofimo Lopez said, listen, everyone knows I won this fight. 90% of the people here were cheering for Lopez coming in. They all booed him after he said that.